Hello YouTube, welcome to another video. So I've had two items in the post today, so I thought I'd do a quick video to show these items off and show you what I've got. One of the items is, I'm not totally sure what exactly it contains in it. I know it contains something, I know what it is, but there's multiple, so we can have a look. First off, I thought I'd quickly show you what I got for Christmas. My old man bought me for Christmas basically a box of vintage Action Man stuff. And what I usually do with vintage Action Man stuff is I go for it, see what I need, and pull out the things I like to keep and sell the rest. So some of the things I did sell at previous toy shows, the NEC toy show, I sold a few bits. Not many amazing pieces, but there were some cool figures. I mean, so we've got this bearded figure on the right. This is the Adventurer. It's really cool, like how they started to like flock the hair in 1970. He's got soft hands, but these hands are replica hands. They're pretty old school looking hands, so it makes you think that this person probably had these in his collection for a good 10-15 years. So in the middle we've got the Marine. He's wearing some camouflage uniform. I don't think this is the 60s camouflage, I think it's the 70s one. I need to double check. He's got the auburn hair. He's pretty cool. And so I went to a toy show previous last couple of days, and I've been buying up some pieces of some collectors. Found this. I don't think this is 60s. It's marked Hasbro. I think it's modern. But the camouflage helmet never came out in the Action Man line. It only came out in the G.I. Joe line. So I thought, well, get that from my collection. I don't really collect like 40 for replica stuff, but for what it's worth. So it also came with the bag as well. The bag's pretty cool. It's quite a hard bag to find. It's actually a radio bag. It sounds like a little phone in there and everything. It's hard to find in that with that pattern. And then we got the sailor in with his life vest on, known as the Mae West. I think he might have been repainted because his head is pretty good. But yeah, these are really cool. The one on the right, the bearded figures, could be for sale. I really like collecting the painted heads from the 60s. So these probably stay in my collection, and this one will eventually be for sale. So I bought these not long ago. I think it was like £2 plus postage. I think it was like a £5. These are all Star Wars collectible cards. Now, I was told they were vintage ones, so I'm not really sure what I'm looking at. But there's there's 96 cards. So I thought maybe a bit cool to go through them. So we've got Mace Windu Concerns. So this is from Revenge of the Sith. Topps card, I think it came out 2004. They have Don't Mess with Ben Kenobi. I'm pretty sure this is a modern card. Yeah, it's modern. It's called Heritage. These might all be modern then. I'm a bit annoyed if they are, but so I really thought I was buying vintage, but oh well. For the price I paid. Beheading a Tyrant. Yeah, so they're all Topps, and they're Topps Heritage. You can see in the corner there. That's a bit annoying. I actually thought these were proper vintage cards from the 70s and 80s. So they're called heritage cards, but they're not actually replicas of the original cards. They're actually cards done in the same style. I mean, they're pretty cool if you like this sort of thing. You do get to see some cards that would have never would have been made. There's Han with Greedo. Some people think Han shot first, some people think Greedo shot first. I think neither shot first. Han is the only one to shoot. That's the way it should be. No, I shot first. Darth Vader's Fury. Yeah, these are all modern cards done in the vintage style. Pretty cool. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to quickly show some better ones. Fury of the Wampa. Palpatine's protege. Because when I saw it, I basically thought these were like the Empire cards. I never really looked at what Empire cards look like. So I thought, oh, that's probably them. That's probably the Empire cards. And then eventually I thought, well, there's a few red cards. That's could be the was it the second series of the original Star Wars series? He's in Rogue One as well, isn't he? I love the land speeder, the snow speeder. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with these cards. So I originally, as I thought they were vintage, I thought I might try and update my collection, and then I would, sell the rest at toy shows or trade them with people if anybody wants any. But unfortunately, as they're modern, I'm not really sure there's much room for them in the current marketplace. They're quite nice. It's one of the better ones. I might keep myself. I might even try and see if I get them graded. I found out today that you can actually get cards graded in the UK by PSA. There's a website you can go to. It's called Gem Mint, and you send them your cards, and they will happily send the cards off to get graded. And when they come back to them, they'll post them out to you. Obviously, it costs a lot of money, but if you're into graded cards like I'm slowly become, it's worth it. One of the best scenes in Star Wars. I've never really been a fan of how Yoda was portrayed in the the prequel trilogy. I found him to be a bit over the top, unfortunately. I prefer him a bit more quiet and relaxed, like he's in Empire and Jedi. That amazing Tarkin. That's from the special editions. They added Jabba into A New Hope, or Star Wars as it was originally called. It's a bit awkward. It makes the whole series. It's just something that should never really happened. Really, they originally made him really green looking, but when you watch Jedi, he's more of an orangey colour than a green colour. But you know what Lucas would do to his films. Battle with Jango Fett, my favourite scene in the prequel trilogy. It's weird, yeah. There he is, Yoda. I always find it a bit weird that C-3PO was made by Anakin, who became Darth Vader. It seems what a coincidence. You know what I mean? There's Jabba there. So Jabba's more of a greeny orange colour, isn't he? A kind of dark green orange, not like bright green as he was in the special editions. That chess game. I believe in The Force Awakens, when you see Chewie and R2-D2 and C-3PO play this game in A New Hope, the game ends, and then in The Force Awakens, when it starts up, same game, same setup in the same places, and the next move is made. Which is pretty funny, but a weird, pointless thing to do. Right, I'm not going to bore you more with these cards. They're quite cool. Some of them are not quite nice. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Probably put them back in the box they came in, just put them on the shelf. If anybody out there wants to, buy these off me, I'll sell them pretty cheap to you. Look at that picture. No escape from the princess. It looks like she's dancing. Very weird. There you go. Amazing scene. And a not so amazing scene. Cool. Right, let me clear those away and I'll get the next time out. So my dad, he runs the toy shows runs the toy store with me. We both have around Time Toys together. He bought a few of these recently, and unfortunately they're not really that great sellers really, which I don't know why, but they are the carded original G.I. Joe action figures. Now, if they were sort of actual American G.I. Joe action figures, they would be worth a lot of money. I mean, in this condition, it's a little bit wavy, but the bubble's good. The bubble's really nice. I mean, this would be worth, I would be surprised if it wasn't worth more than £100. But unfortunately, this is made by Fun School, and it's actually one that was released in Russia. Believe it or not, they had G.I. Joe in Russia. So I imagine these were probably released in the late 90s. I can't imagine they were released back in the original era. They probably left over stock. I know they were sold to India as well. So India and China had some of these, I believe. So Fun School were kind of like that toy line out there. Now this was actually sent to me, dare I say it, in a Jiffy bag, which is my pet hate. Why would anybody send these in a Jiffy bag? But it survived, luckily. I don't know if the curve was made by the Jiffy bag or not. I don't think it was. I can probably try and get rid of that by flattening out. But anyway, this character is called Dreadnought. I haven't had many G.I. Joes or Action Force figures before. I've had a few, but nothing very loose. They're very hard to find loose. But for some reason, I had a bag. I bought a bag of vintage toys. I think it was a charity shop, and they're just, you know, bits of Playmobil, bits of Lego. There's the old Star Wars toy in there worth nothing. Some Ewoks, I think it was. But there was one of these with all its bits. I couldn't believe it. So it's really strange that I was able to get hold of this. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this. I kind of like it, so I might just keep it in my collection. I'm going to try and flatten it out. I think these cards are the same size as Action Force cards and Star Wars cards. So they will go in a Star Wars hard case. So I might see if I can flat this out and then put it in one of those plastic acrylic cases and just keep it in my collection for now. I might put it for sale. If anybody wants it, they can throw me an offer for it. It's not worth mega much. It's not worth £100. The only problem is when people pick this up on our stall, I don't know if you can see, if the printing is very kind of like, it feels cheap looking, which makes people think, oh, it's a fake. But I've googled this, I've looked around, I've asked people, and they said no, these are not fakes. These are just poorer quality cardstock. But it's still nice on the front, and they're original. They are proper vintage figure. They're just not the ones that, not the company that everybody wants them to be. They're not. I think, was it Hasbro there? But yeah, it's still pretty cool. I'm starting to fall in love with G.I. Joe now. I never used to really like it. I used to think it was a bit like, I prefer the military stuff, and I prefer like the 12-inch G.I. Joe, like the Action Man and stuff we have in the UK. So I was always a bit weird. I never understood the idea of having like, why would you want somebody with a and what's his purpose? He just breaks things up. But now I look at it, I think, well, the articulation was pretty good for its time. It's quite an ingenious kind of like way of doing things, and they're quite, because of their size. You can have like loads of these in one big play area, and it just looks so good. Anyway, that's items I got picked up. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry there wasn't much of a video. Before I just do a quick update. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you later. It's me again, another edition. This came the following day after the last clip you just saw. I got this little box of bits. I literally just opened it, had a quick peek inside. I thought we can open it together. Basically, it was this lot. It's quite small. It was mainly just weapons and guns that I saw for sale on eBay. For G.I. Joe figures. So I thought, why not pick up and see what we got. So we have this chap. This is the Galoob 18, one of the bad guys. They came on like a pack of like 5 of them, or you can get them separately, I believe. Not mega money, he's probably worth about £2 as he is. Very easy to find. Next is this. I'm not sure what that is. As a kind of like a I first thought it was Mighty Max maybe. I wonder if it's dated anything. So I can't see a Maker's Mark at all. It feels 80s as opposed to say 90s, if that makes sense. It's a bit more fragile. It feels like it's got, these weapons seem a bit like they're more brittle. I can't see a Maker's Mark. No idea what that is. If anybody knows what it is, please comment. Next up, we've got what appears to be the Bat Boat. Corgi Toys, yeah. It looks like it might have been the from the 70s. I don't think it's the 60s one. It's in pretty poor condition. It's probably worth absolutely nothing. I'll put that in a job lot of diecast stuff and get rid of it. Next up, we've got this stand. I originally thought this was Action Man, but it now looked to be something else. It's got a mark on it. It says Hong Kong. I don't know if you can see it or not. Made in Hong Kong, that's what it says. That could be any old rubbish. It might be 18. And then we got this round dome. My first thought it was from Star Wars, one of the mini rigs. I'm not a massive fan of the mini rigs, so I don't really know much about them. Possibly. So I'll look into that. Then we got Action Force figure. For some reason, when I was younger, I used to have quite a lot of these. They're really easy to get hold of, and whenever I used to pick up things at like car boot sales, you'd always find these. But now they're quite hard to find, and they go for good money. I don't think he's mega money, but I think he's about £7 or £8 loose, which in comparison to most Action Force, which are about £3 or £4. That's pretty cool. So he was pretty good. I think I paid about £5 the whole lot of this. And that included the postage. Next up, we've got this little puzzle here, which should be all the weapons. Yeah, so it's a load of weapons. So I was told that this sword was a part of the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons line. It's a line I've always wanted to start collecting, but never got around to doing. So that's pretty cool. Then we got all things like this, which I assume are from G.I. Joe. I've had a few people tell me they are G.I. Joe. They look very similar to everything else, really. I mean, they're all very kind of my cat's meowing behind me. They're all very kind of hello cat. They're all very kind of generic, really. But these are from like the later G.I. Joes, from like still the original generation, but from the late 80s, early 90s, really. So that was that. Wasn't the biggest thing in the world, wasn't the biggest lot in the world, but it is nice to get a load of G.I. Joe weapons for practically free after I sell these figures here. I mean, I should be able to make my money back on these bits here with the sword as well, and then the rest I'm going to either try and find the figures and match the weapons up, because that's probably the better way of doing it, really. So when you have a G.I. Joe figure, you can buy them for like £3 or £4, but when you have the weapon, they go for like £11, £12. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. As always, hope to see you again. I'll hopefully make some videos in the next couple of weeks. See you later.